Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Section 214 of BT Lions podcast. And I'm Ascent, and I'm here with my full slate of co-host this time. It's been a while. And
Good to be back.
yes,
Good to be back.
and
Nice to see you all.
yeah, and you'll notice that, JS is kind of unavailable in terms of video calling at the moment, but, we're going to get into that in the live event of why he's like this. But uh,
It's okay. My voice is the most important part, anyways.
yes, you can kill the idea, you can't kill the voice.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's my wise words for today too. But um, so yeah, like there's a lot on our plate for today, and like we're recording this, and then I'm gonna be uploading this on the eve of the CFL season as well. So
It's finally June, as they say. It's no longer is it June yet. We can say it is June.
it is June, but yeah, in terms of the CFL talk we're gonna do, like we have like so many thoughts built up and like cogitate where we were cogitating on it for a long time. Right? A
A
lot
lot
of these
of
news.
lot of news, some of it good, some of it not so good. A lot of conflicting emotions. How about that?
Yeah, we'll keep it at that. But for now, we'll just get a couple of housekeeping things in order. Uh, for one thing, we're not we don't have the UVic Zoom that we've taken advantage of for the past 2 years. Unfortunately, that's gone the way of the dodo now. So like shed a tear for that because that's helped us out like pretty much since day one of this
Very,
podcast.
very helpful. Very grateful for that.
And so for now, it's just going to be another staggered, couple recording sessions. But
But if
yeah,
you don't want to listen to all of it, or you want to listen to it in different chunks, then there's a nice break in the middle. So maybe that works
yeah,
better for the listeners.
I'll have timestamp. I always have timestamps for the videos too. So
There you go.
so yeah, there's one thing, and then the other thing will be yeah, like this first part of the video will be just quickly talk about how the NHL playoffs is going, and then talk about baseball, including JS, you had your time over in Toronto to watch Blue Jays games. We'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about how the Whitecaps are doing, and of course, like the World Cup, which is upcoming. I think like in the next week or so. uh,
Yeah, it
Oh,
starts a
Gentlemen,
Jesus, that
week
was
from
quick.
Thursday, a week from tomorrow. It's crazy.
yeah. So,
I'll, I'll,
so
I'll talk about why I'm wearing Vancouver Canadians merch. That's some
There you
pretty fun
go.
news.
mhm. uh, yeah, we'll talk about why I'm wearing this hat too, but uh, and yeah, and then of course miscellaneous. I put miscellaneous life events in our rubric, but that's just I think I have one thing to talk about, but you two have more things. So yeah, that'll be for what's going to happen. So I guess the first thing that we'll talk about is we'll talk about quickly about the NHL playoffs. So from the last episode, at the time me and Hammer were recording, it was 2-0 Hurricanes lead over the Senators, and then they ended up getting swept, and then they destroyed my dad's team in the Habs. So both of
They
us
really
got a
did. That,
taste.
but now I would imagine you're all fully on board with Carolina winning. Oh no, you can hear me, right?
Yes,
Yes. So I
winning the
am.
Stanley Cup.
Yes, well on board with Carolina winning the Stanley Cup because we don't want Vegas to because I hate them with a passion. I have all sorts of reasons for that. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorists. I won't say them on air, but basically anyone but Vegas. And like, I would cheer for the Maple Leafs over Vegas if it got that far. That's how bad it is for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
for me, that would be a little bit of a harder sell for me, but I think I can talk myself and root for the Leafs over Vegas too. But it's with hesitation,
It's
considering
just
how well. But
I
yeah,
don't know if I'd
well,
go that far, but right now I've temporarily changed my profile picture on Discord, Instagram to a Hurricanes picture because I hate Vegas as much as everyone else does for obvious reasons like their goalie and their organization
Oh,
just
he's
being,
awful.
Yeah.
yeah, hate their goalie, hate Brett Howden. Just for reasons we won't dive into. I think a lot of people know what's going on about them, but I don't. There's a lot of guys on that team I don't want to see win. If there's only one thing that would be really funny, it would be if Marner won the cup and won the Conn Smythe a year after leaving the Leafs. But then
That would be
again, like that's
hilarious.
this.
And
If Vegas won the cup,
yeah, Vegas
this
won the
this
cup,
would be
and
the
then Mono wins the Conn Smythe, right? That's
yeah.
The
I was
ultimate
gonna say,
insult to injury for Leafs fans, even though they
well, yeah, I was gonna say even though they won the draft lottery, right? The Leafs
I was
won the draft lottery.
so annoyed
Like you
about
have
that.
no idea how much how mad I got seeing that, right? Like,
I
Yeah.
oh
yeah, I screamed in front of a bunch of I was at work at the time, and
yeah, you
when they
told us
won,
that,
I
right?
screamed in front of a bunch of kids.
Valid.
I know, and I'm like, the Oilers and the Leafs get so many first round picks, and none for Ottawa, none for Vancouver. In fact, Ottawa once had their first round pick taken away because of Vegas, by the way. But so, oh, it's just a never end. Well, I mean, I hope the number 3 overall pick goes as well for Vancouver as it had for Ottawa in 2020. But man,
Mhm.
That would be
I
ideal,
was
honestly.
I was gonna say if Vegas won the cup, that would be a fitting end to the worst NHL season of my lifetime. Having the Canucks implode with the worst coach ever, trading Quinn Hughes, and then losing the draft lottery, and Vegas winning the cup, like losing the lottery to Toronto as well. Like you can't even write a worse season than this.
You really can't.
yeah,
That's how sad it is.
yeah. Again, it was like at first I was happy. Oh, finally, the Leafs are out of the playoffs. I can not worry about them for a bit, right? But
Oh,
yeah,
how
it would
naive that
also be the
was.
worst. It would also be the worst thing for me, right? Because yeah,
Well, that was
and
naive.
it's also it's a very rare kind of thing that I root for a team that destroyed mine, right? I say very rare because 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna root for the downfall all the time, right? I
Yeah.
was rooting for the Rangers, the Texas Rangers for the downfall. Didn't happen. They won the World Series, so uh, at least the Royals lost after that, but. Yeah, actually, I do also want to go into baseball talk for a bit too. But we'll start out with JS. You can talk about what happened in time you were in Toronto.
Yeah, so I went to the Blue Jays, who were they playing the Cleveland Guardians that day. And first off, we didn't get. They had a giveaway for I think it was the Y2K hoodie they were doing a giveaway for, but unfortunately we didn't get there in time, so I was kind of scratched about that. But then
Oh
they give
damn.
up 5 runs in the top of the first inning, and I thought we came all the way here, paid this money, made a big part of our trip seeing this game, and they're gonna totally crap the bed. But luckily they scored 3 of their own in the bottom of the first, so they got back in it. Then they generally played a pretty good game after that, but the most heartbreaking part was in the bottom of the ninth. They're down 2 runs, 8-6. They had 2 runners on base, so that meant if they hit a home run, they'd win. And I started filming. I never do this, but I started filming because I thought they're going to score a walk-off home run, and I can film it. And that didn't happen. It was a double play, boom, game over,
Uh,
and they lost.
sounds
I
all like
guess.
the 2026 Blue Jays. I mean, I get increasingly more frustrated, but what can you do? Because the whole team is injured. So yeah, you got the experience. I hope you at least enjoyed it though, because the
I did. It
stadium
was a
looks
lot of fun.
awesome.
The stadium's great. Yeah, they've done a lot of good
Yeah,
work with it.
they seem to be top notch in fan experience, player experience. So
Lots of
the
good different
organization,
types of
yeah,
food and stuff. It's really good, really positive.
man, yeah. Last time I went there in 2022, the stadium was pretty crappy, probably bottom of the barrel, and like what they've done to it is pretty cool. But I just hope we can start winning again.
Hmm.
That's
That would be
You and me
ideal.
both.
yeah,
Just, but it's
AL
just
East
funny.
suffering bros.
Yeah, it's also funny that we're also recording this like after. Well, the Orioles beat the Red Sox yesterday, but like after that, it was a it was a 4-game series that was split down the middle. Like the Blue Jays won the first two, and then the Orioles won the last two. And oh yeah, and the third game was my favorite for obvious
Not
reasons.
even.
Because
Oh
they
my
came back
God.
from death. For you, it was the second game. For me, it was the third game. It was literally a microcosm of how our seasons
Hmm.
were going. Right? Well, like
Few words, Jeff Hoff.
oh yeah, Jeff Hoffman. By the way, I just do that. You kiss that, right? Kiss your career goodbye.
Oh,
Uh,
please, please. I hope we get rid of him. That's not even top five bad thing. The top five worst things he's done so far. He's blown so
so
many
many
games this
games.
year and last season. So
I think
I
he
don't know
blew
how
the.
you
I'm pretty sure he blew the game that I was at too. Maybe it was Scherzer. I can't remember.
I think it was Scherzer.
Yeah, in that game, I
He's
think it
like
was. He really
he was
played horribly in the
old.
first inning, and they would have won had he not had such a bad game. But alas,
Yeah. But yeah,
Then he got injured right after, as as it goes for the Blue Jays this year.
yeah, and
But
it's funny that well, I was saying that series was a microcosm of how our seasons were going. Uh, Both the Orioles and the Blue Jays are still top two and like the most man games lost to injury, right? It's
just
ridiculous.
rotten luck is what it is.
Although, although right now, I mean, like the Orioles are actually, pretty close to a wild card spot right now, incredibly, right? Because they were what, like 5, 6 games out at one point in the June, and now they're, I think, a half or at least a game back, right? Well,
Jesus,
then again, a lot of the American League is pretty mediocre, other than the Rays, the Yankees, and well, actually, the Mariners are a
Athletics.
little mediocre too, but uh,
We got teams under 500 in the playoffs in the AL. It's pretty sad right now. So
yeah,
I uh I don't normally put too much stock into the playoff push earlier this year, but not getting wins early in the year, I mean, that doesn't do good. You need a head start in MLB. It's such a long sprint, 180, 162 games. So
yeah. So we'll see what happens. Like over the course of the CFL season, we'll still be keeping tabs on our baseball teams, but yeah, just for a little while. But yeah, let's just go into like the third sport to talk about, the soccer, and you know the Whitecaps. I think they're still doing pretty well, right? They're on a long
still
road
doing
trip,
great.
I imagine, right?
They're
So
so the MLS is going on break for at least a month and a half, and
I'll
as
break.
being a
Okay.
season ticket holder for the Whitecaps, we have no home games for 3 months between May, June, July. Be back August 1st against LA. But because of the World Cup, we don't have BC Place. So we're actually playing Canadian Championship game at Swangard Stadium,
Wow,
which is
Oh,
going to be such a throwback. Um, as for the team itself, Whitecaps, they're first in the West. 10 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. They've been great this year.
that's incredible.
They're
Like so good
yeah,
on the
they're
field at
the
least.
favorite.
what about
Yes.
what
Oh
about the
boy.
relocation story? That's like never going away. Still with it. Uh,
Save the
Save the
caps.
Caps. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think it's safe to say we all unequivocally endorse that on this show.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
That's
right. And that's right. Um, right now we can unequivocally, support saving the caps. But if you asked me this like 10, 15 years ago, I would have said, no, they've been antagonistic towards Lions fans, the Whitecaps fans have. Because yeah, I remember like Hamill, you asked me like, talk about on the show like the beef that Whitecaps and Lions fans have had together
yeah. It's almost hard to
online.
believe.
Yeah. There was a time where, yeah, it was like animosity. It was like, they were sharing BC plays, obviously, still to this day. But, you know, back then it was like Whitecaps fans were slagging the Lions and the CFL, calling like a second-rate football league. And then, you get like got BC Lions fans calling like the MLS like a fourth-rate soccer league, right? It's like,
Yeah, that's
it's
pretty
like
petty.
it's like two homeless men calling each other hobos kind of meme, right?
Yeah, pretty
Can I say
much.
my I'll say my unbiased opinion because I have been a season ticket for holder for both the Lions and the Whitecaps,
Yeah.
unbiased, I will say that the Lions own BC Place because the Whitecaps for so long have been trying to get out of BC Place. And in terms of the soccer league slash football league comparisons, I would say the MLS is like a 10th tier soccer league, whereas the CFL, you have players going up to the NFL all the time and probably one tier lower than that. I don't know, but at least there's not as many leagues to compare it to.
Well,
But
the Lions have
that's
been in
not
like
that's
BC
not the
Place since
basis of the
'82,
argument, but
right?
that's what I think.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, like it's good that you said like the Lions are, synonymous with BC Place because, like, literally, like they were the team that's been in there since like the building was first built in '82, right? So
It's true, and they've hosted many Grey Cups there. They've won
yeah,
championships. And basically all the great BC Lions highlights you think of are BC Place. Can't really say the same with the Whitecaps necessarily, but
except for last year with
yeah.
that MLS Cup one, right? But
Yep.
But
uh,
even that, most of those games were on the road because they didn't quite finish high enough in the standings. And hopefully this year they can do that, if they can make the MLS Cup again, get it at home and sell like 50,000 seats I would do my best to go if that happened.
yeah,
This quarterfinal last year was unbelievable.
You
If
went to that game,
I
didn't you?
was, I did. It
yes,
was incredible.
I
Yeah.
watched it on TV. I wish I had been there.
I hope we get more of those. Yeah, it
Absolutely.
was insane.
but yeah, so yeah, like I said, 10, 15 years ago, I wouldn't have been like too. I wouldn't be chopping at the bit for to save the Whitecaps, but now I'm like I understand. But that was like a younger me. I was very reactionary. I was like very much ride or die, like BC Lions. I'm like, I don't care about soccer at all, right? Right. But now I'm like, I'm more mature. I understand
Yeah.
how important like every single kind of sport in the like you can't
Yeah.
take these kind of sports for being there for granted, right? Like, well,
Evidently not.
right? Professional sports at least, right? You always get your amateur stuff, right, around, but and high school and stuff like that. But yeah, in terms of professional sports presence, right, you can't take that for granted, right?
No, you
So
can't.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's so yeah, I'm glad that I mean, I can tell stories of just the social media beefs between like Lions and Whitecaps fans back in like the mid 2010s, right? There was so uh again, it's ridiculous now, but yeah, it was that's kind of like what the vibe was back then. It was just yeah. So, but yeah, I imagine like those bridges have been repaired, right? And we're all supporting each other in
As
terms
we
of
should.
yeah, as we should.
Yeah.
So
We would
yeah,
love to have
so
owner like a Mardoman.
yeah, and I guess Whitecaps aside, now we can talk about what's going to be good. Yeah, like we said before, next week the World Cup will be starting, and
World Cup.
Vancouver's going to get a couple games, few
Seven
Yep.
games.
games, I think.
7 games.
Yeah. I took a picture of well, I was I mean this kind of also stems from the life events that I'll talk about, like the one life event that I had. Uh, but I did I went to Vancouver for something, and
Mhm.
I took a picture of Science World with like the soccer ball motif around it, and for the first time, I think we rarely have like digressing opinions with you and me, Hammer. But I said like this looks ugly. I don't like it. The soccer ball motif on Science
Yeah.
World because
Yep.
I'm so used to just the normal Science World, right? Being like a part of the
Yep.
Vancouver skyline, right? It looks so weird to me, right? I mean, I
I
get
actually
why
thought
it's
it was
there.
cool.
I get why it's there, but it just looks so weird to me. I was off.
I will agree. I do think it looks off, but I just think in terms of World Cup vibes, I think that's
Yeah,
probably the coolest thing that any city has done. Like we can go on and on about how we're being bad at being a host city for reasons, but other cities have done way worse, and I think we have gotten a lot of good decorations in. I was at Robson Square yesterday, and they've gotten basically balls of each country's flag that's playing here. So
That's exciting.
countries like Switzerland, New Zealand. I can't name them all at once, but all those flags
And
are
no
around the
Italy.
city, which
No Italy.
no Italy, no,
No Italy.
no Italy. Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
but
they
I was
lost to
I was
Bosnia,
there.
and that was funny.
Uh,
I was downtown yesterday to buy this. Got my Canada jersey, my
yeah,
first
There
ever
you go.
Canada
Look
soccer
at that.
jersey. I think this one's pretty nice. It's got the Canada flag
that one's great.
along
Yeah, I
the
like that one better than our
yeah.
hockey jerseys, actually. Yeah.
Ooh,
Uh,
hockey jerseys, they've been brutal the last few years, honestly. Except the
mhm.
Four Nations one. The Four Nations one was nice.
Yeah, it's yeah, it'll be yeah, we have a mixed opinions about the World Cup. I have more negative opinions about the World Cup usually because I'm like an outsider in terms of and of course, my one of my main national teams is not in it, so I'm like already like my enthusiasm for it is like dipped, right?
That is funny.
Badly, right? It's kind of like what I had with the Stanley Cup final, where like I'm rooting for a team that like utterly destroyed mine in a sweep in Ottawa, right? So I'm like,
But that's more out
it's
of desperation than anything.
it's more out of envy as well. It's like,
Well, like imagine if a team we don't like beats Canada or another team we're cheering for, and then hypothetically in the World Cup final they're playing the US,
oh no,
right?
yeah,
We don't want the
yeah,
US to win. So
no,
I get it.
that's yeah. I hope. Well, we'll see. We'll see if that exact same scenario happens, right? But
I will say
again,
one thing about the World Cup. Like two things can be true at once. I know one thing we can all agree about is the fact that we don't like it because like for Vancouver, because we're losing so much money as a city and there's been a lot of just bad decisions overall. I'll openly say I do not like our mayor and I can't wait to vote him out later this
this
year.
is this is
Um,
about as political as we get on this show, right?
this is this
The
is
the opinions
yeah,
of the hosts do not reflect the opinions of the podcast as a whole.
nope. But two things can be
That's a
true. I am
joke.
also super excited for the World Cup. I'm gonna probably be at watch parties like as much as I can just to try and soak in the experience that
It's gonna be so
the
much
biggest
fun.
tournament in the world is here, so it is gonna be fun. Um, yeah. I'll mention
But yeah,
another
I
thing
was.
is that
Oh yeah,
sorry, keep going.
oh yeah. I was gonna say like you were talking about well, like it's overall like a net negative for the city. And before our call, I compared it to kind of what the 2010 Olympics was for us here, right? But in terms of the comparisons, like the Olympics was more beneficial to our city because we got the candle line out of it, we got Olympic Village out of it. Expensive housing there. I mean, everywhere, but we got some
Hillcrest Community Center.
we got some rec centers. We got and Whistler got some amenities too. Right? There was like more of a net benefit to both Whistler and Vancouver, but not a whole lot in terms of World Cup, in terms of like exposure of our city, other than maybe like some industrial tourists would be like, oh, I like it here. We'll come back here another time, right?
But hey,
Some
that's still good though. Good that they're
still
choosing to
good.
visit.
Right? Yeah, but it's but there's not going to be I'm sure like the Arbutus extension is not like a part of World Cup thing right now. It's like completely different, right? That's
Hmm.
We're getting
but
grass at BC Place, but it's temporary. So
mm,
would have loved that to be permanent.
yeah. So you're gonna say about your second thing, Hammer,
Well,
before I went.
I was gonna say is that so I am going to a World Cup game, going to Canada, Qatar on June 18th. And the most unluckiest timing probably of my life is that my Douglas College graduation is on the same day. So I'm gonna have to miss that.
Yeah.
I legitimately could not believe it when I found out. And it was just hilarious how on the graduation website they're like, on for the people who have graduation on June 18th, please beware that there will be lots of traffic and lots of SkyTrain
Mm,
crowding. So please plan in advance. And I'm like, well, I'm probably the only
no
person who's
need.
going to miss the graduation because I'm going to the game. Um, it's definitely not the most significant graduation of my life. Again, like a 15 credit certificate that I finished while I was at UBC. But it would have been nice to mark just the end of a fun journey there and to celebrate it with USN, probably
Mm,
most of the reason I actually went to that college. So at some point we will celebrate that and we'll keep the legacy going by doing podcast recordings at Douglas College, I'll still have those privileges for quite a while. I think I don't
Yes.
I as far as I know, I can still book the studio right now, and I'll do that as long as we can. Um,
Well,
but yeah,
that's
just
important.
ridiculously unfortunate timing. But I'm excited for that game. So
Yeah.
I'm going with my
I think
grandpa, and
Aw.
that is
that's
exciting. Yeah.
oh yeah. Speaking of your grandpa, yeah, you also one more thing about the soccer topic. Before we move on to
Yeah.
miscellaneous life events, like you showed us like a really cool picture
Yeah.
of like your grandfather has his own Wikipedia article,
Mhm.
and he was like
So
a referee at the 1974 World
yes.
Cup, right?
So my other grandpa. So yes, I have two grandpas who love soccer. One of which, so I'm going to the game. My grandpa on my mom's side, he's just a soccer fan. But my grandpa on my dad's side, he was a referee in the 1974 World Cup and another World Cup. So 52 years ago, almost the day of when I'm going to this game, he refereed Netherlands versus Sweden in the 1972 World Cup.
What a small
74.
world, eh?
I'm messing up, but it's so crazy. He gave me this stopwatch, which he used in that game. So I'm gonna bring it to the game this year. Um,
That's a good luck
I
charm, right there.
yes, I wish I sh really should have brought it. It's in my room upstairs. I should have shown it off in this
I'll
episode.
show a picture of it
So
in the editing.
yeah, you
So
show a picture. I'll also bring up a picture that I
right
have
here.
my grandpa with Pele. So that's up on his wall. He's got a Wikipedia page. Jacob, you found the highlights of that game, which somehow I haven't even watched, so I should watch
Yeah,
that.
FIFA's website
Um,
had them. It was so random.
yeah, I so cool that you're able to find his Wikipedia page. So that's
Mhm.
a fun bit of family lore. Um, he's his name, first name, last name, Werner Winsman. So he's born in Germany, moved here, and then obviously had a family. Me being his grandson, so it's such a cool thing. It makes it even more cooler that I'm going to World Cup. So yeah, I'm glad that he's alive to experience it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
He's in his
yeah, he's
90s.
Oh
90s.
wow, there
That's
you go. Well, then
Yeah,
that's even more
crazy.
special.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's
He
in
had
the
a lot
Canada
of
Soccer Hall
stories.
of Fame. Yeah,
Oh, isn't
Oh,
he? That's so cool.
yeah. First ever
yeah. Oh,
referee.
yeah. You said Hall of Fame, and I
I
immediately
know.
said the BC Sports
That's
Hall of
another
Fame
thing.
being taken. Yeah.
Pretty sure he was
Uh,
the first ever Canadian to be on the field at a World Cup.
He is. Yep.
As far as I know, yeah, because there wouldn't
And
have been any players, obviously. I'm pretty sure he was the first referee. So there you
definitely the
go.
first.
that
Yeah, he might have been the first person. That is so
Canadian.
cool.
Yeah,
Isn't that funny?
maybe. But yeah, like another thing that grinds my gears about the World Cup is that they're taking all the BC Sports Hall of Fame stuff out of
Hmm.
Oh, that's just
the
awful, isn't
room
it?
they have in the concourse, right? Like as soon as you get into, I think it's Gate A, between Gate A and H, like there's like a large concourse, and the BC Sports Hall of Fame is like right in front of you. None of that stuff is in there; it's in storage now.
Yeah.
But yeah, just getting rid of all
Jorge
that. Like,
Nalgene had a pretty big rant about that, and I would agree with everything he said. Like, I just can't believe the government hasn't settled with them to give them any compensation for kicking them out for 2 months.
They really should. It's pathetic. Or like FIFA should honestly be paying that, not the government necessarily. Like somebody, but yeah, I don't want to do
uh,
my politics rants right now.
yeah, we've gone like on a lot of ranting, but let's well for the last part of this first part of the recording session before we get into football stuff, let's talk about well, I mean we've already gone through like a couple of the life events that beforehand, but in terms of strictly life events, well for one thing, JS, like let's address the fact that you don't have your webcam on. You just got your microphone, and that's because you moved.
Well, I just moved from Victoria to Surrey. Currently still getting things set up, so I'm currently doing this in our bedroom, and I didn't feel like using the camera from in that situation, so that's why I don't have my camera on. But hopefully soon I'll have something a little nicer set up. But more
Mhm.
importantly, what this means is I'll be able to go to games again, and that
So,
I'm
Welcome
excited
back.
about that. Very,
Yeah,
very excited.
and go with us to first and now stuff, and
Exactly. That's the
yeah,
plan. And
well,
yeah, we'll see where it all ends up. But I'm glad to be on the mainland again.
Hell yeah.
yeah, great, you're
Excited.
with us. No longer we don't have an Islander representative. It's like,
No, the island is a great place, though. If people get a
but
chance
yeah,
to visit, they absolutely should. Victoria, especially, is quite nice during the summer.
You
yeah,
did go to the Langford preseason game before you left.
I did.
yes,
I don't know if I
and
should
that was a
touch on
lot.
that now because I have a whole rant about how the game was presented rather than football stuff. So I don't know, should I do that now or after?
After, but
Okay,
Yeah,
that
let's
yeah,
do that
sounds good.
after.
but yeah, the way you move went, these past 2 days have been chaotic, right?
Right.
You've
Yes, there were
documented
issues with
that.
basically the U-Haul location that we rented a truck from appears to be poorly run because they reserved X number of trucks for people on that day, and they didn't have enough trucks for everybody. The lady behind us in line was told they didn't have a truck for her, even though she supposedly reserved one ahead of time. And like I felt
Oh,
really bad for her because it was near the end of the month. That's when a lot of people are moving, and they didn't have a truck.
it's yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like watch out for that if you're moving. Make sure that they have a truck and check before you sign whatever contract you have to sign because like we got lucky. A few minutes later we might not have had a truck.
Hmm.
yeah,
Oh,
and yeah, and on top of that, I mean, like it was hard to get your Wi-Fi set up like once you were here, and there was,
Yeah, it's
you know,
working, I think, reasonably okay now, so we might have to get that looked at again, but we'll see. Like, hope I haven't cut out too many times.
not too
well, you've
much
actually
on
been pretty
that from
good.
what I've heard. Yeah,
Okay, it might also be I'm using my phone and it's old and on its last legs, so I may be getting a new phone in the next few months too. So
yeah, well,
Nice.
knew everything, right? So yeah,
yeah, I was
pretty
either this
much.
or my 9-year-old iPad I could have used, which still works
Oof.
well remarkably.
Damn.
Yeah,
Testimony to if you take good care of your devices, they can last.
yeah, my phone is actually 7 years old, right? And it's
There you go.
going
That's
pretty strong,
awesome.
right? So yeah, uh, but yeah, so you move back to the mainland. That's all well and good, and you can be with us a lot more, right?
Exactly.
uh,
Hell yeah.
And I'll be
Oh
working
no.
regular sort of 9 to 5 ish hours because my law school's done. So that's also good.
and that's that too. So, and of course,
Working
yeah, like
downtown.
Yes, that's going to be fun, especially during FIFA. Transit's going to be great. In case you couldn't sense my sarcasm.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, because I think they voted
Totally
to
hear
go
it.
on. Well, they voted to go on strike, but they haven't actually gone on strike at the transit union side.
Well,
Uh,
let's hope that they get a fair deal. I support them, but let's hope they get a fair deal so that doesn't happen.
yeah,
I support the bus drivers. I love buses.
I
Absolutely.
think if I remember correctly, it's less about the compensation and more about the working conditions that are unsustainable,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I've heard
Yeah,
too. So I hope that the government gives them a fair deal.
yeah,
Save our
bus.
bus drivers.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't know why I have a bus on a
I
stick, but
Oh, there you go.
it's like a cake pop almost, right? Like
That's funny.
it basically is a cake pops. Save our or support our bus drivers.
for our transit workers. Yeah. So
Bus
yeah,
drivers, we love them.
JS is moving here, well, moving situation. That's all taken care of, hopefully, and then Hammer with his graduation
Yep.
upcoming, and me, I'll quickly talk about. Well, I, I told everyone about. I went to see the Science World. I took a picture of that. Didn't like it too
Mm.
much, but before that, I was at a place called the Wavefront Center for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. Like I was at an open house for them, and there was a lot of interesting things about it. Like there was presentations on hearing aid research, and a lot of the companies that are involved in hearing aid manufacturing on the surf floor. I even got like a free hearing aid cleaning out of it, which is always appreciated because you know wax tends to build up over time, and one less thing for me to ask my parents to help me out with. Right, but
Yeah, we'd
yep.
love to see you getting support for that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Wavefront is very important place in society for helping the deaf and hard of hearing. I mean, there was like a lot of people in that open house, right? And most of them were surprisingly, people were using ASL sign language, right? And I felt like, oh man, I feel out of my element because I never had thought about learning that kind of language, right? Because you know I don't
'Cause you
need
can't
that kind
hear.
of language, but yeah, but yeah, it's good that they're there to provide support for people who need ASL and hearing aids for people like myself, right? Uh, so yeah, I just had to visit there for a few hours. I got into a raffle. I didn't win anything. I wanted to win something for my dad, but like the golf prize packet is the golf prizes especially, right?
Next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
Next time they have an open house, I'm gonna give it another shot and we'll see. But
Yep.
so yeah, we're getting close to the end of our first recording session. So when we're back, we'll talk about all CFL stuff and the lines. And we're gonna be starting out. We're gonna be coming out hot with this first topic. So we'll be back in a bit. Okay, we're back. So yeah, as promised, this is the part of the video where it's going to be like all football again, right? And
Yep.
for our last off-season episode, right? This is our last off-season episode, so we got to come out like with some fire here, and there's
What has
no
happened?
greater target of fire.
Are you still doing your
than-
podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, this is I guess
I think we could continue on.
yeah, I can. Yeah, we can. But yeah, we can. I'll start us out by saying like, yeah, we're gonna talk about the playoff changes for next year. Oh, yeah.
All good.
Okay. Oh, good. Yeah, we're gonna talk about like the playoff changes that for next year, and oh boy, I have an article ready for that, and
I
on
I'm
the
frustrated.
It's
yeah,
really, this format is honestly kind of insane.
yeah, on the headline, it says Stuart Johnson says CFL fans will get past 8 out of 9 teams making the playoffs. No,
It's so invalidating. It's like, well, what does it remind me of? It's like a politician talking down to you and saying your fears are not valid. Or like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, we don't care.
It's like
yeah,
a
we don't
dictator.
like we don't
Yes.
care about you. Give us your money. You're gonna give us your money anyways, right? Or your eyes. And I mean, like,
What
but
if we
yeah,
don't?
but what if we don't? Like, the more you push us into, ostracizing the fans' opinion, the more you're gonna drive us away, and the more, we're gonna be like less. We're getting like less and less infused about. And I don't want to be less infused about doing this podcast with you guys, right? Like, but like the league is like making it so hard to get away from that, right? But anyways,
The changes that
so
we see, like, again, I'm raising the red flag about 4 downs. I think it may happen one day. So anyway,
I
should we
hope
get
not.
should we get into the details of this format? Because I don't think we discussed it
Ye-
last time.
No, well, no, I said that from the last off-season episode that we were going to get into that because I think that was when actually no, this was
This was
well,
before it was announced, I think.
that was before it was announced, but yeah, it was announced in April, I believe. So yeah, it was so yeah. So apparently for next year, and the DAZN deal is also going to be starting next year as well. We're getting it out as well, but for next year, um, I'll quote from the Three Down Nation article. So it said the first round of the new playoff format will feature 4 matchups. 2 of the games, dubbed the Division Showdown, will put the top 2 teams from both the West and Eastern Conference over 2 divisions against each other. The 2 winners will earn by the third round of the postseason, which is like the a conference final, while the losers move on to the second round. The other two games, dubbed the play-in games, will see the number 5 seed host the number 8 seed and the number 6 seed host the number 7 seed. The two winners will advance to the second round, while the two losers are eliminated from playoff contention. This seeding will be done based on regular season records, irrespective of divisions. And then for the elimination games will be the two division showdown losers that host the play-in game winners. Seeding will again be done based on regular season records, not division. You can see it was kind of confusing as I'm talking about this.
It's so why is there such a long explanation? Like,
and the two winners of those elimination games will advance to the conference final. And then
they're not even called
obviously
that anymore, though. They're called the Grey
Oh.
Cup semifinals.
the semifinal, yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the playoff format in my Little League baseball, where every team made the playoffs and you'd have to be beaten twice to get eliminated, just so, you know, the kids weren't so discouraged. This is ridiculous. What are we doing here? The league now has 88% of teams making the playoffs. So we're
It's
playing
kind of
18
laughable, honestly.
games,
95%. Actually,
18 games
99%.
to eliminate one
No.
team.
99% because it's 8 out of 9, right? So
We're playing, yeah, 18 games to eliminate one team, and like the top two. So basically, the way I read this dog's breakfast of an explanation is that the top two teams in each division make the playoffs. And then after that, it's just the four teams with the best records. Doesn't matter the division. Am I right about that?
yeah, it's like the two top teams will play each other, and then the winner of that will, be like the team winning for them at the end in the semifinal. And
Yeah, like, what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
now we're basically like getting rid of the advantage of finishing first in your division. Now you got to finish top two, and you got to play against
and
each
you
other.
still got to play. Yeah, you still got to play like a mini Grey Cup-esque game in order to do
You could
that, right?
Well,
you could finish first in
on
your division, and then you would have to play potentially, if you lose the first playoff game, you'd have to play 4 playoff games in total
To get back to the Grey Cup, yeah.
instead of 2.
Oh,
and you,
man.
and you know the justification I heard about this? The commissioner was on Donnie and Dolly the other day. I was watching. He
Yeah.
said currently division winners to make the Grey Cup, they just have to win one playoff game. Okay, what's the problem with that? It's been that way for 60 years. What's the problem?
Yeah, why all this extra hoop? Well, all these extra hoops that or lower team like teams 3 through 8, right? They have to go through like all of these hooplas at the end of the season, right? And it's like, oh my god, this is going to be so confusing to casual fans, and also it's confusing to us too. Like when we saw all of this happen, when we saw that announcement, like I read over like it a bunch of times, right? And like I'm pretty sure my reading comprehension is pretty good, but even I'm like, what's the need for this crazy format, right?
And then another thing I'm reading here is an upset in one or both rounds could see the teams from the same division reach the Grey Cup, something that has previously never occurred. Well, guess what? It's still possible for that to occur with the crossover rule. It just hasn't happened, but it could.
Yeah.
Like this is insanity, honestly. The speculation I've heard is that they invented this format to give DAZN some new playoff games without having to take any away from TSN.
The amount, the fact this is so confusing just shows how unserious this league is now. I remember waking up that morning when this was announced, and I was so mad. I'm honestly like, I'm not as long time of a CFL fans as you guys, but I was more mad about this than the rule changes. Like,
and the rule changes
I can't believe
themselves were pretty bad, right? But
this is
a whole. This is like
Brady Oliveira spoke out about this. This is the one time we're going to agree with him.
Yeah,
But he was basically calling out the CFL for how bad this is.
Yeah, and of course you get like the TSN blast. I mean, commentary going like, "Oh, this is all fine." I'm going, "Well, yeah, you said the same thing about the rule changes too, right?" And going, right, like, okay, we don't. I'm not taking you seriously either. If you're just going to be acting as, mouthpieces for the league, right? And man, it's just like the one thing, and of course, the one thing that like everyone's focused on the fact that it's ridiculous that 8 out of 9 teams make the playoffs in this format already, and so that means like the regular season won't really mean as much, right?
Well,
Uh,
Stuart Johnson
unless
disagrees with that. He says,
unless you're like the absolute worst team in the league, right?
and everyone's going to laugh at
Yeah,
you. But you know what Johnston says? He says,
What?
we think the end of the regular season, in fact, the regular season is going to take on even more meaning
what?
because you're jockeying for position. You want a home game.
Okay, if you're like,
Why wouldn't that already be the case? Like, I think it's more meaningful when more people are fighting for the playoffs rather than seeding in the playoffs. The I don't
well,
get it.
fighting for home field advantage in the playoffs, right? I mean, in the system we have now, like, it's not perfect, right? Obviously, the West has been like usually the most powerful, uh, division, right? And oftentimes it's the fourth place West team crossing over to the East, right? But no, that's a lot less confusing than what this is, right? uh,
Oh.
easier for me to follow at least. But yeah, oh man, it's just
We
that.
we we have been saying that if the CFL goes to 4 downs, that's the end of our podcast. And I hope this
And
podcast lasts for a long time. I love doing this, but just every move that Stuart Johnson has made has been a step in the wrong direction, a step towards being the NFL. Um,
well,
I don't
not.
like
I'm pretty
everything
sure
about
like not
this.
even the NFL would employ this kind of a system, right? Like
No,
it's
it's
no.
clunky and convoluted, and like it just seems like a way to inflate the number of playoff games. Like, well, it literally says here, where was it? We now have 9 playoff games instead of 5. That's clearly the motivation. They want to nearly double the number of playoff games.
It's
No.
it's like diluting the importance of the. I think it's diluting both the importance of the regular season and the playoffs now. Where it's like, and also like if you're the number one in the league, right? Like you have that like such a high risk thing too, right? Like you lose that one game,
Mhm.
right? And then everybody else gets to have more than one game to like feel each other out or stuff like that, right? And you know I
Yeah,
think
it's
like sure,
clunky.
if you're the best team in the league, I mean, sure, you might not like see that as too much of a concern, but oh, there's going to be upsets. The CFL is built on upsets and comebacks, and right, just
Oof.
uh,
I'm
yeah.
actually so frustrated about this, to be honest.
Like the
Like,
more we talk about it, the more like JF is not on screen right now, but I can hear steam coming from his ears all the way
Yep.
over here, right? Just
it makes
Given that
less
we
sense the more we.
given that we only have a limited amount of time on this Zoom recording, I'm going to save more of my thoughts for another time.
Yeah, let's
Mm.
save it like for a bi-week episode, which is actually that'll be the next episode we're gonna do. But, that's down a little later down the line. We're just getting into the groove of regularly podcasting again, which is nice. But again, yeah, this
So,
this this has dominated our thoughts for the past 2 months, right? And then
Yes.
and the next thing on the docket is also the DAZN streaming deal with you. With, I think it's the YouTube amenities as well. But
part
uh,
two of becoming the NFL, all these streaming services.
getting an international streaming service. Like I've seen so like if you could give me a dime for how many times I've seen comments saying, "Oh, this is good for international football fans," I could be rich, right? But I do
Literally.
agree with that, right? But it's at the cost of the blue collar, low income CFL fans that probably have like just one jersey that they wear to every game, like I do, right?
Hmm.
And yeah, it's like you know it's going to be well, it's a 6-year deal for one, and it's going to be for I think like 40 regular season games on Saturday. Like
Yeah, the
it's
Saturday,
starting in 2027, right? So it's like it'll be Saturday games
the four
and
o'clock
two
Saturday
playoffs.
slot. Yeah, will be the zone every weekend. Like I personally hate streaming. I just find it annoying that we have to pay for subscriptions for every little service. For this slate of 5 games, you got to pay $20 a month. For this slate, you got to pay $20 a month. But like one thing I do like about this deal that hasn't been mentioned is that they're going to keep more of the games on CTV, which I appreciate because that makes the game more accessible to those who can't afford like specialty cable or even literally I have it on our TV here. You can just plug in an antenna into your TV and get it for free. So I do like that aspect of it, but I also acknowledge that streaming is kind of the way of the future. So I just sound like a boomer when I say this, but
Yeah, you sound
I
like a boomer when I'm the older one here, but
literally
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I got like TV, I got a TV in here as well that I watch the games right with, but yeah, I'm, I know I'm like in a increasingly a minority of you know, millennial slash Zoomer age people with TV watching, still watching on my TV, right? With Telus, but yeah, it's
No.
just yeah, for this, it's not as much IO for me as the playoff changes, but it's like, well, it's gonna, well, it's also still gonna confuse, and obviously, like the older CFL fan, they're not as in tune with online streaming as I mean, it's been quite a few years that we've been in like this online streaming kind of way to watch games and stuff like that, but it's still like, they're still gonna wonder like where the other games have gone, right? I guess you know
I'll
I
say
mean,
this. There's only one positive for the CFL on this deal, and it's the fact that I could be wrong with this number, but I think this is a $500 million deal, or maybe
it is,
50.
which
I
is
tried to
a
look it up.
lot of money.
It's
yeah,
a lot of money,
a
but
lot of money.
apart from that, like they're trying to get a better international audience, sure, but 99% of CFL fans are in Canada, fans like us. And we're moving close
Actually,
towards the NFL because they have those Prime Video games, they have the Netflix games. This is one game a week on DAZN. I'd be fine if the whole league went to DAZN. So sure, you could just pay a sum every month and get all the games. That would be just fine. I used to have DAZN, and it's actually a really good streaming service. The quality is good. I used to subscribe to it for things like the Champions League, Premier League, MLB Network, but I had to unsubscribe to it because it was too expensive. It was
getting
like 30
expensive.
something bucks a month. So it just wasn't worth it for me anymore. And I still wouldn't get that if it was one CFL game a week. That would just be like, it doesn't make sense, really. Um, so I don't like this in general. Like we're gonna be flip-flopping between channels and games we can't watch every week. We're gonna be
It's going
probably
to affect
pirating.
our normal. It's going to affect our normal episodes next year, right? Because
Yeah.
you know,
Definitely.
I have to. I will. It's going to like change how I do my note writing significantly, right?
Same.
Because I'm used to just like watching TV and then like coming back here to type it, but I'm not sure if I can get DAZN on this TV, right? The zone.
Let's
The
let's
zone
say
is
we
called the
get
zone.
if the Lions get one or two games a month on the zone, and one of them happens to be a home game, it'd be cheaper to go to the game than subscribe to it.
Oh my
Literally.
God.
And like I'm not even joking with that.
Oh yeah, and I can't. Well, yeah, and if I missed like a zone game, might not be able to like record it or just I mean, unless they have like a system where you can watch a replay of it, like if you subscribe to it, right? But I'm not sure if
No,
they. Uh,
I think you do, but at the same time, like if you don't have it, then you can't.
I
So
can't
I
record
wonder
it
how
on
the YouTube
my
highlights are going to
TV.
work. Like, I there's
I
so
think
many questions about
those
it.
will be interesting for sure. Like let's yeah, I'm not so negative about this one. Let's give it time, I guess. But
Yeah, again, I'll see if I can finagle my way around like significantly changing the way I do our regular season episodes, right? It's like
yeah, we will
there's
see.
so like before we started recording, it's like we were scared of like there was so much change to the league in the past 2 months. Like I was scared that something was going to go down during our recording, right? Like, oh, they're going to put four down football like in the middle of a recording or something, right? Then that would be DEFCON 1 for us.
Well, sure enough, spoiler alert. we were supposed to record this yesterday. We didn't. We're recording it today. And this morning, the Lions had new away jerseys
Oh, yeah,
announced.
yeah.
So,
Well, it was
yeah,
good that we
thank
waited
God.
because I like them. They're a little hard to see the numbers, but I do like the color scheme and what's been chosen. So
Yeah,
Extra
I'm
and
generally happy with it.
I'm mostly glad they've gone back to silver helmets because that was the old days where like I remember watching the Lions as a little kid. Well, from what little memories I have as a kid watching them, I remember with silver helmets, right? That they were wearing in like the late '90s, 2000s, right? Early 2000s. uh,
Those are
yeah,
nice.
that's the main thing I liked about that kid in and of itself, right? uh,
You
and it's
commented on the
funny.
numbers. Oh, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny that they called it a Pacific white color. I think it's they branded that, and it's like well, it kind of makes sense considering all the time they go on the road. Like it's like 8 out of 9 CFL teams. It's like it's cold in the winter and in the fall months, right? Like it'll get snowy though, right? So kind of makes
Mm,
sense that they would lean into that, right? That we're ready for the snow, right? We're not just a dome team all the time, right?
mm. Yeah.
uh, so yeah, oh yeah, you finish what you were saying.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, I know you mentioned this on a Discord message earlier, but you don't like how the numbers are gray. And I
Mhm.
agree for broadcasters' sake, they're really hard to see. It was also the case with the old black jerseys they had before we switched to those full time. But the new full time black jerseys have orange numbers, so that's not such a problem for the broadcasters. Um, but I mean, apart from that, I just think they're very clean jerseys. There's a BC Lions on the chest that's also white, which you can't really see. I think that would have been cooler if it was in orange, but they're very nice. I think this year might finally be the year that I get a Lions jersey, and that'll be see which one I get. The black and white, they're both very nice. So see about that.
Guys, considering well the Reebok jersey I have, I mean they're probably fairly cheap to get. Although
Mhm.
depend on where you get it from, right?
Yeah,
Either from
I'll look around.
outside sellers or, but yeah. So yeah, we'll just quickly touch on the fact that yes, we have new road jerseys for this year, and though, yeah.
I don't know if they might wear
Well,
them for a home game as well at some point.
might
Yeah,
yeah, they might even do that. Yeah. Uh,
I
maybe
rank
for
them
like
9 out of 10.
it's snowing outside, in
Never
November,
happens.
which is rare, right? Um. So yeah, so there's that, and I guess yeah, yeah, we have like quick 10-minute rant for both the playoff format discussion and then the DAZN or DAZN. It's gonna be hard for me to say DAZN all the time, right? I'm just calling it DAZN.
The
But
zone. Say it 100 times and
DAZN,
you'll remember.
Zone to zone.
DAZN.
I
It's
made that
like
mistake at
the
first.
it's like the YTV, the old YTV thing with Zone, right? Actually, that if I think about it like that, then it'll come to me better. But uh, so yeah, there's a couple more things that we'll end off on this episode before we head off, and yeah, this is what we've been building up for pretty much the whole off season, like in all these off season episodes, including the 214 episode, the predictions. And JS, I actually want you to start out with your standings prediction for this year because you had a bit of a funny reason for you said that you didn't want well, I mean you are the negative Nancy on the show
Yeah,
often,
I
so
got two things. First off, I have not had any time to really think about this, so I'm kind of just winging it. The only real principle I have is I refuse to put BC first just because sports has broken my heart enough times with my team that I'm not going to do that. So I will go through mine quickly and then we can each get into yours. I've got Saskatchewan first, then BC, then Winnipeg, Edmonton, Calgary for the West. Then in the East, I have Montreal, Hamilton, Toronto, and Ottawa. So I think, BC is going to have a good season, but I just refuse to put them first. On paper, I think, was it 3 of the top 10 CFL players in that ranking TSN did were BC players. So, like, stuff like that should put BC on top, but I refuse on principle.
Yeah, because of like the roller coaster start of the season we had last year, and it's like it just as easily go off the rails as much as we can ride like a hot wave that was the second half of the season, right? But less of that, please. That's gonna be a hard.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a hard. I imagine it might be another roller coaster of a season here, but not something we're not used to.
Very true.
Yeah. But yeah, Hammer, what's your predictions? I did find it funny
So,
about the last one that you put.
mhm. So in the West, number one, BC. I think we're kind of the favorites, best QB, best receiver, best running back. Let's not talk about the defense, but I think we are the favorites. Um, Two, Saskatchewan lost a few defensive players. They're still going to be good. We'll still be fighting them. Um,
They still have Trevor
Third,
Harris.
Winnipeg. It's Trevor Harris, yeah, old guy Trevor Harris, but he still won a Grey Cup, so can't count him out. Winnipeg third, they feel like a 9-9 team to me. They actually improved a bit, but they're on the wrong end of the age curve. Four Edmonton, five Calgary. I don't know. I think that could have been switched around a bit. I don't have much confidence in those two teams. East, number one, Montreal. If Alexander's healthy, they're going to be great. And Philpott, if he's healthy too. I mean, I guess football predictions are a lot harder because teams can just get injured and just fall off a cliff like Montreal
Last
did for
hard,
most of
yeah.
last season. Then they came back, made the Grey Cup. Two, Hamilton. I'm never going to let myself lift this down. Remember last season I said there's one guarantee, and that's Hamilton's going to suck, and then they won the East. They're still a good team. Um, Ottawa third. I don't have much to say other than they have Aiden Eberhard, so I miss that guy. And then
Oh God, I
four,
forgot about that. Yeah, I
four,
was.
I put Tehran. Sorry, what were you
I
saying?
know. Yeah, I was gonna say. If we had a lot more time, I would have gone into like a lot more of the moves that BC made in the offseason. But Aiden Eberhard being gone is like still pretty bad.
No,
But
it's tough to get over, but we still do have
yeah,
two of the top receivers in the league. But
at
yeah,
least we do.
the
Yeah,
fourth
still
in the
still
East,
good.
I put
Yeah.
Toronto, and I also put 0-18 right next to it. I have like zero confidence in Toronto. They have basically playing 12 road games. They have the worst defense ever. Gave up like 600 points last year. Um, and they're gonna have Chad Kelly as their quarterback. He's coming off an 18-month injury. Um, I I just can't see them really doing anything. I mean, yeah, they're gonna suck. That's my guarantee. Toronto's gonna suck. So
And
let's
then
That's
see if
all.
Toronto's
they
gonna win. And then Toronto's gonna win the East, and then
they're
you're gonna
gonna
be
win the
like,
East.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then you're gonna be like, stop guaranteeing things. It's not
yeah.
okay. Well, we'll see. But it's funny that you say that you also said that you have pretty much the same standings predictions that I did. Well, mine,
I know.
I have a very brave prediction, and this is coming off like them losing that crossover semifinal game, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah. So basically, I had most of the same in the West. Like I had BC number one, Saskatchewan number two, but I had Calgary at number three,
Interesting.
and Edmonton at number four. So that's the same thing. But Winnipeg at last in the West. This is the year we're gonna see them finally like lose so bad, right?
Wouldn't that be
I,
nice?
I am
Oh,
praying. I'm praying that they're finally their magic is dead. Right when they
oh, the thought
lost
of that.
when they lost in that crossover game against I believe it was Hamilton, right? Yeah,
That would be so sweet.
That would be like icing on the cake.
being like, please, I want this to happen this year. Like this is the I admit this is a very brave thing for me to predict, right? Because it's like we've known Winnipeg be like so awesome for these past 7 years, right? And
If you're wrong, you're going to look very foolish. But if you're right, you're going to look brilliant.
if I'm right, then I'm like, okay, finally, I got something right today. Right? Okay, and in the East, it's I just put It's pretty much the same as Hammer's actually. Yeah, Montreal number 1, Hamilton number 2, Ottawa number 3, and Toronto number 4. I don't have them going winless, but I'm sure they're probably going to have at least probably I'm going to say
2.
5 wins.
You
Right?
Yeah,
know,
outright
I spent
winless is unlikely, but
yeah,
I love it.
I'm obviously joking around with that. I actually spent so much time thinking about my standings predictions, and then again,
I spend the
it was
most
just
time
so
with it.
similar.
Yeah.
It was so similar to yours, a sense, and also Jacob's. Like that's CFL in a nutshell.
It's so
It's
funny that
football,
yeah,
but
it's so funny that JS like you thought of it on a whim, Hammer, like you had some time to cogitate it. I had like I was agonizing this all off season. Like I
mhm.
was just I mean it didn't like dominate my thought. Like I wasn't like having nightmares in my bed of like, oh my god, if I get BC wrong, crap, right? No.
No, of course not.
But I was like, okay, I want to come out on top again like I did last year. I think I won last year over you guys
Oh,
in
you
Team
did.
Wash, which is
Did the wash?
this,
Because we're so
which
similar this year that if the wash has basically a good chance of beating us all if it really goes wrong.
yeah, and what Team Wash is, it's just basically I think it's I don't remember what it was. It was just I think all of us had the wrong prediction. That's Team Wash, right? All of us had the wrong prediction,
Yeah.
right? So that's that's the Team Wash thing. But yeah, I'm hoping that I'm like a two-peat champion for this, right? uh, so man, I'm not gonna let that get to my head, unlike the Dodgers. But uh,
God.
so yeah, that's our standings prediction, and I guess the last thing that I'm going to talk about before we go is the fact that yeah, week 1 of the CFL season is starting in like 2 days time from when we're recording this. But what I'm going to do for that bye week episode is I'm going to cover the Saturday game between Winnipeg and I think it was Calgary, right?
Actually, it's a
Nate.
Friday game.
Oh, it's a Friday game, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna watch that too. I can't wait for CFL.
Uh, yeah, I'm just gonna yeah, Friday, Winnipeg at Calgary. So yeah, that's the game that I'm going to start up my recap, and I think we'll keep it at that, and then we'll also talk about like other things that we've missed in this offseason episode. Like unfortunately, because of like all the stuff that's happening around us, right? It's like you know, we kind of I had to cut some things out of what I originally planned on talking about here with you guys, but yeah,
Hey,
we'll
can I
save that for the.
mention?
Oh, did you
I want to mention
mention
something if we have time.
5 minutes?
Okay. Well, I do want to mention that I actually work for the Vancouver Canadians now, so that's my summer job. That would explain why I have a broken bat with me and a baseball. But I looked through the
Mm,
schedule and I'm probably only gonna miss I don't know the schedule. I'm probably only gonna miss one game. But apart from that, the season lasts until August. And I'll be at most of the recordings, and then after that, I'll be at most of the games. So for the
most
BC Lions. So
I'll try to
I'm gonna get
come to 2 games myself as well, but I'm just gonna wait a little bit. Like I'll probably wait until after the Kelowna games and see where we're at before I decide which games to go to. Right?
Good
uh,
call. See how things are shaping up, which matchups look like the most compelling, et
yeah.
cetera, et cetera.
I mean,
I'll go to as many as I can, like usual.
I might end up just going to like another after like a birthday game, right? But it's like after my birthday, right?
Mhm.
But for my 31st. But yeah, so that's that. And then so yeah, so yeah, our bye-week episode will be recapping that Bombers game, and then just some miscellaneous other stuff that we failed to mention in this episode. But I'm just glad that for one thing, I'm happy to be with you guys again. I'm happy
Me
that we're
too.
getting into the
Me too.
groove of regularly recording. Right? I was so bored in May. I'm like, man, I want to like get right back at it with you guys again, right?
I'm glad that we can now. Very
Yeah,
excited for the new
I really
season.
care. I really care about this channel that we've got, right? Because it's it's a passion project for us, right?
Me too.
Uh,
Every time we start recording, I realize how much I miss doing it, especially in the off season
mm.
where we're spaced out between episodes. So
Yeah,
I'm
there's
excited.
less news, but now we've got news every day, every week, and hopefully some good news from our team. And maybe this year will be the year that we don't end in heartbreaking fashion, you know? Maybe I'm being
No, I want to stream a happy ascent this time, not like
that would be
watching,
nice.
not watching my team collapse in real time in the fourth quarter and just going.
Exactly.
Uh, and but yeah, it's so yeah, our bye-week episode. That's probably it's going to be a lot more flexible when we're going to record and upload our bye-week episode. Probably between like Saturday and the start of the next week, right? Or or the first Lions game, right? So yeah, that'll. But our next episode is like a lot less of a time gap than from our last off-season episode, right? So uh yeah. So expect the bye week episode to be between, I want to say yeah, June 7th and the 11th, right? So that's a time window for recording and
7-Eleven,
uploading.
there you go.
So, yeah. 7-Eleven, yeah.
7-Eleven.
That's random 7-Eleven shout out, but okay, so yeah, that's going to be on the docket for next time. So as always, happy to see you guys again, and I'm happy to be recording
It was
for
fun.
That was a lot of fun today.
our loyal viewers, and of course, you know, uh, you if you if you like this episode and you want to keep us in your feed, just as always, like and subscribe to our channel. And also, there's also a hype button that was made aware of from
Oh,
watching.
really? There you go.
Yeah, from watching crossword videos of all things, right? Because yeah, there's a hype function. So if you can hype us, that'd be awesome too. But there's that, and of course, comment in our YouTube chat on our YouTube videos as always if you'd like. And for longer form messages, you can contact us on our Gmail account at section214@gmail.com. That's SECTIONTWOFOURTEEN@gmail.com. And yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Got it.
You did
First of the
great.
year.
You win the spelling bee.
I was pretty good at spelling in my elementary school years, so yeah.
You're the perfect guy to do it then.
All right. So yeah, that'll be it for us today, and we'll see you next week. Go Lions.
Go Lions.
Bye.